On the launch of Xiaomi 12 series, Lei Jun mentioned the comparison between Xiaomi 12 series and iPhone 13 series for many times. Although we've heard a lot of many brands that took iPhones as references, it's the first time the Xiaomi actually developed a complete phone line against iPhone. The Xiaomi 12 Pro is undoubtedly the most striking model in the series. While its imaginary enemy, the iPhone 13 Pro, also happens to be the most popular iPhone of the year. So today, we brought them together for a camera comparison. And let's find out why is Xiaomi so proud to take on a rival that costs nearly twice as much as it does. Well, let's start with their camera setups. The iPhone 13 Pro is equipped with triple lens rear camera system, including a 26mm equivalent 1.5 f-number primary lens and 13mm 1.8 f-number ultra-wide angle lens and another 77mm 2.8 f-number 3x telephoto lens. All of the threes feature 12 megapixel resolution, while the Xiaomi 12 Pro seems to have a more beautiful camera setup on paper. It also equips a similar triple lens combination, and all the three lenses feature 50 megapixel high resolution, including a main camera, a 2x telephoto camera, and another ultra-wide lens. Now let's start with their main cameras. It's quite surprising that the Xiaomi 12 Pro applies a more aggressive color tuning, leading to more vivid colors compared to what we actually see. While the iPhone 13 Pro is good at present true colors and good wide balance that reflect the actual environment, but on the other hand, the Xiaomi 12 Pro is much easier to present brighter colors with high saturation, which at first glance is more eye-catching. Under most conditions, the Xiaomi phone samples seem to have higher contrast, but if we look closer, they actually have little gap over darkness, especially for high contrast shooting. Both of them didn't really have good noise control for darkness. Though the Xiaomi 12 Pro's main camera supports a 50 megapixel original resolution, it didn't bring much benefits over image clarity with sharper detail when compared with the iPhone samples. Another common detail shared by these two models is the random lens flares. When shooting towards a light source, we experience the similar bright reflection on these two phones. To avoid that, you can adjust the camera angle when shooting or use editing apps like Snapseed to remove it, but we also heard that the latest iOS can automatically remove lens flare from photos in certain conditions. Well, obviously it's not now. As for their ultra-wide lenses, we have to say both of them have very good picture detail and the image is clear and sharp. Although we can tell that the Xiaomi model is slightly better than the iPhone 13 Pro, the difference is really hard to notice without careful comparison. The color preference of the two models' wide-angle lenses is almost the same as what we found on their main cameras. The Xiaomi model's color is still bright and high saturated, while the iPhone is still more realistic. And both of them didn't show much fringing, which are better than most phones' wide-angle lenses. As for their telephoto camera, since they didn't feature the same optical focal length for Xiaomi 12 Pro, it supports 2x optical zoom, while the iPhone 13 Pro it offers a 3x optical zoom. So for 2x shooting, the Xiaomi model with 50 megapixel sensor no doubt presents purer and sharper image with better noise control. Similarly, the iPhone model offers better color presentation with richer detail over 3x shooting. But personally, I prefer the iPhone's telephoto solution because it's not really far behind over the 2x shooting. But meanwhile, the 3x optical zooming supports better telephotography at 3x and above. For example, if we shot at 5x zoom on the both models, the iPhone 13 Pro could provide cropped picture with less image loss and better detail as well. But on the other hand, if you do a lot of portrait shooting, I would say that the optical 2x of the Xiaomi model is an excellent option. Then we move to the night shooting. After comparing night shots, this is our conclusion. The improved night performance of the iPhone 13 Pro still doesn't compare to the Xiaomi 12 Pro. We all know that in the past few years, some Android phones have been ahead of iPhones in terms of night imaging. Although we can see that on the iPhone 13 Pro, the gap keeps narrowing. The Xiaomi 12 Pro still leads the round of night shooting. Even though we shot under auto mode, these two models both could boost the imaging once the AI recognized the night scenes. Apart from the auto mode, they also provide the more aggressive night mode. To access the better night effect, you need to adjust the iPhone's night effect to the max option, while for the Xiaomi 12 Pro, you have to shift to the night mode. This time, I had to admit that the Xiaomi 12 Pro's camera provides a more user-friendly experience for night shooting. Thanks to the optimized MIUI software, its night shooting experience has never been faster and smoother. It only requires us to wait up to 3 seconds processing under extreme low light condition. While on the right side is the sample shot on the iPhone taking 10 seconds for processing, but as you can see, the Xiaomi sample taking shorter processing is even brighter with sharper detail. For the main camera, the Xiaomi 12 Pro's night mode has better color presentation with purer image, while it seems that the iPhone sample got blurry for less noise, which resulted in a bit more or less of darkness detail. In most night scenes, the Xiaomi model's auto mode already performed very well, and with night mode on, the photos tend to get a relatively balanced exposure, while also slightly improving image purity. As for their ultra-wide lenses, the gap is even wider and the iPhone's performance is hardly satisfactory in night scenes. Its brightness could be overexposed and the darkness could be a bit noisy. And both of their telephoto cameras can also apply the night mode. When using auto mode at extremely low light conditions, even though we zoom in to 2 times on Xiaomi 12 Pro and 3 times on iPhone 13 Pro, and working lens would still be the main one instead of the telephoto camera. In this case, we could only have photos that cropped from the main lens, which could be blurry and noisy. No matter for the iPhone or the Xiaomi model, to have nice night zoom photos on these two phones, you need to shift to the night mode on the Xiaomi model or adjust the night effect to the max level for the iPhone. The photos would look much better. So please remember to do what we suggested above if you want to shoot nice photos with their telephoto lenses. And no doubt, the Xiaomi 12 Pro is better at 2 times night shooting and the iPhone 13 Pro offers better 3 times night photos since they each use a separate telephoto lens. But for the Xiaomi 12 Pro, due to the lack of OIS anti-shaking support, you may feel a bit difficult to hold the phone firmly and get clear image. And as for the video shooting, the cinematic mode on the iPhone is the most impressive feature that we've seen about mobile filming. And it did work pretty well with excellent subject portrait focus and blurring effect. But it's not perfect now, like the sample we show here. It by far only supports 1080p resolution with main lens and telephoto lens. And the edge recognition wasn't accurate enough when meeting complicated scenarios. While for the Xiaomi phone, the new focusing feature, Cyber Focus, also works well and offers fast focusing in video shooting. It supports up to 4K resolution but only available on main lens and 2 times telephoto lens. And note that the Xiaomi phone's wide-angle lens doesn't support focus tracking and shooting photos or videos. As for video colors, as you can see, the iPhone probably is still the best among all these smartphones, and it seems that the iPhone has slightly better anti-shaking when filming. So that's all about their cameras that we want to share with you. The Xiaomi 12 Pro is pretty impressive in photo taking, especially for night shooting. The phone is much smarter than its predecessors and the whole camera software brings really smooth and stable experience. And no more crash issues happened as on the Xiaomi 11. On the other hand, the iPhone 13 Pro is still one of the best mobile filming machines. For software, it has a clean and intuitive interface that allows most users to enjoy taking videos in their lives. So this has been it for today's video. Let me know what you think and I'll see you in the next one.